And we're live, everyone. This is Gamer, and I'll be returning to Civ 5 Vox Populi, and a new version came out. I know I'm a bit behind the curve, but real life kind of makes it hard for me to. Plus, when it came out, it was like midnight of Sunday, so I had work, so I can't really just update it. Anyways, the new beta version, February 9th, is out, and it's a huge update. Like, there are so many things changed. Oh, regarding balances and all of that. Let's just dive into it because there's a lot. So first, bullying has been changed. So if you remember before, basically if you have a city state and you achieve, so this is how. Okay, bullying or tribute. I think more people know tribute because that's what they call it, right? Demand tribute. And even here it says, yeah, tribute. Okay, yeah. So things are changed. So first, tribute, it has been reworked where it's a percentage scale. So what happens is, for example, let's say in the past, when you demand a tribute from the Civ, you get 100 gold, right? But now you only, like, that's 100% if you have the military. If you have a military to only get 25%, they only get 25% of that 100 gold, which is 25 gold. So what that means is, in the past, you need the full amount, right? You need to reach a certain threshold before you can get any yields. And that's for your normal tribute, and you need a higher threshold to get heavy tribute. But what happens now is you get to have a percentage. So you might not get 100%, but you'll be able to get a smaller amount earlier, which might help you snowball faster. At least that's the way I see how it can be utilized. And apparently, the way tribute works now is more reliant on global power, empire, proximity. So I guess how close you are to that city state. And I think global power means your ranking in demographics, right? Soldiers. I guess you have to be ranked fairly high. So I kind of don't like that because usually the AI will have a larger, because they have a larger supply cap, so it's kind of not fair if you can't demand tribute. But I guess if you focus, like for example, if early on you go for bronze work. Okay, yeah, I was like, where did the spearmen go, right? I'm using the Celts, they have the Pictish warrior. I thought my installation went bad. But yeah, so for example, normal civ you go bronze work and you get spearmen, and or you go military theory to get horsemen and get tribute. You can get it that way. All right. And yeah, should see more bullying in the game, but less yield each time. Yeah, so you won't have to wait until you hit the threshold, because before is either you hit that threshold and get the tribute, or you don't get anything. So this is kind of nice. But I could see how it could be abused by the human player when the AI doesn't know how to fully utilize it, but we'll see. I haven't played a single game yet, like life has been so busy. Anyway, next, players start with a warrior and pathfinder. Oh, okay, that is actually huge. Actually, no, it depends. Okay, in my opinion, this is a double-edged sword. Now let me explain why. So a warrior, yes, it could help you defend against barbarians early on, right? Before it's like, oh, uh, I have to spend gold, because usually what happens is I go for monument, then shrine, and usually my first warrior, usually I buy it with my gold. Now I don't have to buy it with my gold. However, the thing is, wait, what? Is that first warrior maintenance free? Unit. Wait, no, this can't be right. Okay, I need to go to next turn. Something is a bit odd. So, I'm not sure if that's gonna change. If that doesn't change, then... Okay, no, this is actually stronger. So what I was gonna say is that, you know, you have an extra warrior. It's gonna cost you 1 gold per turn. So you'll have less gold to work with. But seeing this, it doesn't... I'm guessing it's like maintenance free or something. So that's actually really good because you get plus 5 gold. You get this warrior to start with to defend your capital, and then you have your pathfinder to go explore. Okay, that is actually really big, especially with the buff that warrior has gotten, which I'll get to in a moment. Actually, I don't even know where it is. It's such a huge update. I don't even know how long this will take. Next, we have certain buildings that get more supply. Lighthouse plus was supply. Does this? Yeah, increase military supply cap by 1. Harbor plus 2 supply. And then Seaport. Seaport, before it's increased military supply from population by 10%, now it's 20%. So the idea of these 3 is that normally if you have coastal start or water heavy starts, the idea is that you don't have enough supply for both an army and a navy. And the idea is that these will give you some extra supply so that you can have both. Though, I mean, I could see why, because if you play a higher difficulties, the AI just have so much supply that their navy is just gonna overwhelm you. And it's really hard to beat AI on higher difficulties in navy if you don't have a larger navy than your enemy. Because you don't have terrain, you don't have citadel, you don't have those things to help you win, right? To outsmart the AI. So usually naval battles is whoever has the larger navy. And ideally, you'll be able to fight near your cities where you could get support. But it's not always possible depending on the terrain. So this change is going to be interesting. It's going to allow you to build a larger navy. Probably not as big as the AIs, but I have a feeling it's going to improve your odds. Let's just put it that way. Next, custom house. Wait, custom... Wait, custom house. Yeah. Customs house, now you get... Wait, I'm so... Wait. Customs house gets resource bonuses from grocer, loses tourism bonus. Okay, so before it has that trade route, you get tourism. Wait, do both of them? Coffee, tea. Coffee, 1 go to production. Wait, so does a grocer still has its bonuses or no? I'm a little confused. Guess resource bonuses, because I was under the impression that custom house now has all the bonuses of the grocer, and the grocer doesn't have that anymore. But it's showing this. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not updated because there's a lot of changes. I wouldn't be surprised if certain description and stuff gets overlooked. I mean, recently I started making a custom sim. It takes time, okay? There's a lot of things to worry about, but that's a whole different topic. And now Zoo. So Zoo gets that tourism bonus from custom house. So the bonuses got switched a bit. The extra yields for resources for grocer goes to custom house. Custom house tourism goes to zoo. And regarding defensive buildings, less defense total, more HP total, reduce RCS bonus for cities from castle and arsenal. Okay, so if you played the January 11th, I think that's the last one, you'll learn that the cities hit really hard. Like they hit like a truck. Like in classical era, you could probably one-shot composite bowman with cities that only have walls, or maybe have castles. I don't remember. So right now, walls they give less combat strength, so that's, but they give more HP. So the idea is that they're not exactly harder to crack, but they have more HP. So actually, it's weird. It's such a weird change. I don't know how it would affect things. Because the idea is that if you have less defense, it means that they're squishier, so they'll take more damage. I don't know if the extra hit points will compensate. I wouldn't mind if the defense stayed the same and there's more HP. So what ends up happening is cities are beefier. They're not harder to attack. It's not like you need more promotion, more sieging units to crack through. It's just that it takes longer because they have more HP and you need more time to drop it down to 1 HP so you could take the city. So I don't know why they dropped it, because then it's kind of hard to tell if they're actually beefier or not. I mean, I feel it's kind of redundant. It's like, yeah, we'll make them squishier. We'll give them a bit more HP. In the end, they might still take the same amount of time. I could be wrong, but I don't know how you even calculate that. And then, so castles. Wait, what? Reduce RCS. Wait, reduced? So reduce range combat strength bonus for cities from castle. Castle never gave RCS unless it's a hidden one. I wasn't aware it gave any range combat strength. From my impression, it only gave defense and more HP. But it never gave any range combat strength. Arsenal did. I remember that. Arsenal. Wait, what? Increase range attack. No, Arsenal added range. It didn't. What? I'm so confused. I don't recall either of these giving range combat strength. I just remember that one gave an extra range, which is, well, defense, HP, and extra range for Arsenal, and extra defense and health from Castle. I don't remember them giving. The only one I could. Yeah, I don't recall those giving it. I mean, later on you have like military bases. I mean, maybe the Arsenal had it and now it's just gone, which I guess is fine. I mean, it doesn't make sense that later cities hit really hard either, so I'm fine with that. Wonders. Okay. Terracotta Army. Got another change. So, construction speed 25%, culture on kills 20. So before it was plus 10 culture, scaling with area where you kill. Now it's plus 20, which is decent. It's not super. Actually, it's just not bad. If you war a lot, it's actually not a bad wonder. The culture you get. It's basically extra, right? Because you're already getting culture from authority itself, and you also get 25%. I thought that was. What, before it was 20? I thought it already had construction speed 25%. Because 20%, I mean, with the way things are rounded, it doesn't make a difference, that extra 5%. Well, I guess it depends on what you have. If you have roads, yeah, it's. Like, it will still shave off. Like, it will still turn the 4 turn into 3 turns. 20 or 25%. Now let's see. Red Fort. Yeah, Red Fort used to make cities like pretty much invincible. Now it's just range, strike, strength increased by 10%. Before it was 15, I think. Yeah, if it hits a little less harder, it's not bad. I mean, the extra range is worth it. Especially if you get Arsenal, you have a 4 range. Yeah, especially if you like go kind of tall. And you get this, and your capital is like the front line, and you just destroy everything that comes near you. Yeah, that's fun. World Congress, War Games. I don't even remember. I almost never go for the War Games. No, I think so. War Games, for gold, you get the Menengate, +2 happiness, and then +2 culture and golden age points when your own units die. +1 culture golden age points for every 4 citadel landmark. I probably still wouldn't go for it. It's odd. It's one of those things that I'm like, I don't know if I would go for it. Let's see. Yeah, Global War Games. Yeah, it's not that amazing. Honestly, at this point, I mean, it's okay, but it just comes so late that I'm hesitant. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so the other big changes. I mean, there are lots of big changes. So England. Yeah, England got a huge nerf, but they might be considering further nerfs because having spy from the very start is huge. So first, White Tower. Reduces spy effectiveness bonus. Okay, so before it was... So now you reduce... Yeah, slows enemy effectiveness by 10%. I think before it was like 20 or something, which makes it almost... Wait, is it all cities? Yeah, in all cities, which made it really hard to spy on England. And given how early this is, like, she could... Yeah, it's a chivalry. I thought it was machinery. Huh. But yeah, because it's so early, by the time anyone else gets spies, they can't steal anything from England, and England is just in such a strong position. And then instant yields reduce halved. Reduces. Okay, so I think it was 5 defense before, now it's 3. And right now all the yields, instant yields you get to 20 science, 20 gold, all of those are halved. Before it was 40. I mean, it's not that hard to get, and since they scaled, it does get a lot stronger before. So this was a big nerf to the White Tower, but I don't think anyone's going to complain because England was that powerful. And Ship of the Line, another one that loses logistics. Now it gets Breacher, which +10 combat strength per adjacent enemy. Wait, what? +10% combat strength per deal 15 damage to all enemy units adjacent. Wait, does that work? If it's ranged and you move into a position where you attack, like for example, if you have, like for example, let's say there are, assuming this is all ocean, and you have units surrounding Edinburgh, so like you have the Hex and you have one unit there. Does it work? Like if I destroyed that middle one, it would deal 15 damage to all of those, because that's a lot. Like that can really add up. I don't know. Have to test it, but I don't know when I'm gonna play England. So it loses a logistics game breacher. 2838. Okay, yeah. I mean, a fun fact. Ship of the Line was the only unit that at the time that had logistics and had more range combat strength than its replacement. All the other ones had lower range combat strength to compensate for the fact that they have logistics. So, yeah, they were already overpowered. Next, Mongolia. Oh, yeah, Mongolia. Wow, yeah, this just changes how Mongolia plays. So before, Mongolia had this city-state surrender, right? You do heavy tribute, the city-state surrenders to you, and it becomes your puppet. Now their unique ability has been changed, where you get basically double the tribute yields you get from city-state bullying, and you ignore alliance pledge of protection penalties with bullying. So what happens is normally if the city-state is allied or has someone pledged to protect it, you need more units in order to basically get your tributes. But Mongolia ignores it, and I could see that be very powerful. Especially if you get double yields. If you have the right civs, those double yields can, like, if you have mercantile city-states, what that means is you will actually be able to snatch quite a few wonders. If you have militaristic, you could get a lot of science. Nobody cares about maritime because, yeah, food is there. I mean, later on it might be good, but early on it's not that good. And then, religious. Yeah, you are going to get a religious so much faster with all of those tributes. And then what else? Cultural. Oh, wow, your policies. I feel Mongolia might actually just risen up to one of the top tiers. I mean, yes, it is dependent on the city-states, but even if you have, say, one religious, one cultural, and rest are maritime, you could probably get quite ahead. And Spain has went through quite a few changes. Now you get food again. So before it was faith and gold, now it's faith and food when you find cities. Generates. I don't know if they actually. Because before, what happens is when you get food, it goes to your capital. Here, it doesn't say it, so I'm not exactly sure if it still goes to the capital or not. But yeah, you could get some pretty big capitals if you settle and capture cities. So that is pretty interesting. And then Sulu got a nerf. Wait. Yeah, now they don't get the bonus. Like, they don't get, I think, 25% extra yields. That's definitely a nerf. But I guess since they're more effective, you could get it sooner, especially now it's percentile. So you only require half as many units to get 100%. So I guess that's their strength. I guess the extra yields might not be necessary, but still, it's a bit of a nerf. And Zulu hasn't done that well from my experience, so I don't know if it's quite warranted, but we'll see. Oh, Celts, yes, Celts. Celts have. I mean, they have some changes. I mean, if you watch my channel, which you probably haven't, I made some videos looking over the Celtic pantheons, and quite a few of them need help. So, okay, brand. So range combat strength now is 25%. I don't know what that means. Like I know it's a percentage, but I don't know how much stronger that would make cities until it's tested out. And now you get +1. So before it was you get 50% range combat strength bonus to your cities, plus 50% growth, I think, and like 8 culture where the citizen is born. That's it. And then 4 faith for Kelly Hall, which is awful. Now you get +1 happiness per following wait. Per city, not own city or foreign city. So you could get a lot of happiness from this? Huh, that is actually a very... Though if you go tall, which this is what it looks like, actually, can you go wide with this? You get more growth, so you could basically work more production. And when you go wide, you'll get more, but the culture you get isn't that worth it. And 10 culture isn't that much. Honestly, I feel like if it's 20, that'd be a lot better. But maybe I'm underestimating the range combat strength bonus. Yeah, not sure. So, then we have the Cernulus. I don't know how you pronounce it. +1 faith 2. So in addition to what it normally had, now you get +1 faith from jungles and forests if unimproved. Whoa, that could be a lot of faith. Actually, I like that. I like that change. Before it was not bad. It wasn't like incredible. It wasn't S tier. It was more of a A-, B+. I mean, some people will put it at B. I feel it's decent because you don't have to improve anything to get the yields. Then you get more faith. So with this, you have the potential to actually find much earlier your religion. I like that. Next one is Epona. Now, I don't agree with all of these. Like this one, I don't know why they nerfed it. It was +10, now it's +8. And I'm like, why? You don't get any bonuses to your border expansion, right? This isn't God of Expense where you get +25% border growth. You don't have that. And by nerfing it, this is honestly more trash now. I wouldn't. I mean, it's okay, but it doesn't deserve a nerf at all. Like, at all. And then the next one is... I don't even know why this was nerfed. Like, before this was +3, now it's +2. Now it's even worse. Now it's just garbage. I don't know why you would take it. So my argument with this is that to get a specialist, the quickest way you could get a specialist is go for market. To build a market in a reasonable amount of time, you need production. But to work a specialist, you need food. You can't have both early. But the yields are basically great for early game, but garbage for late game. So what ends up happening is you either get a market too late to really benefit from this, or you don't have the food to work a specialist to get this. Oh wait, no, they added food. +2. Wait. +2 food. I still don't know why it's reduced. Like, even if it's +3 of all of those, it would still be okay. Like, it's more usable. The +2 was unnecessary. It doesn't scale at all. Like, you have to work at it to get specialists. I'm not happy about it. I feel like if you have +3 culture, science, food, and go in city with specialist, then we're talking. It's still not incredible, but it's decent. Yeah, I'm not happy about the change. I mean, the food is necessary, but the reducing yields, it's already hard enough to get it. Like, think about it this way, right? I'm playing the Celts. I'm definitely going mining first to get my Pictish warrior. If I go for mining first and then I want to go for trade, do you see how many techs I need to unlock this? And then I need time to build that market to get a specialist? Yeah, it's not worth it. I don't like the change. And then Ogma. From scalar to 1 to 4. Why? Why are these getting nerfed? I'm so confused. Before it was +1 science for every 3 citizen. Now it's 4. I don't know why it's nerfed. Nobody said it. Like, it's supposed to be strong. Oh, yeah, some of these are going the wrong direction. Like, Braun, I don't know if it's good. I mean, it's okay. It's average now. Liu is like nerfed. Epona nerfed for no good reason. Ogma also nerfed for no good reason. Like, these should be strong. These are part of your unique ability. Sometimes I don't know how they... Oh yeah, and then Nwanda is +1 gold. No, still garbage. Still garbage. Capped at half number of followers makes it garbage. It's not worth it. I would just go for... I don't remember what it's called. Dagda the All-Father. Like, it's better in every significant way. Like, the extra gold is not going to make a difference because of the cap. Right? If they reduce the amount of gold you get from Sekele Halls, but remove that cap, I will be much happier. But right now, this is still garbage tier. So, yeah, not happy about the changes. The Celt Pantheons are not going the right direction. Except for the Cernunos, which it's a nice one, but it doesn't make up for the other ones being awful. And Bran is just that, I don't know until I test it. All right, policies. Yeah, this is going to be a long one. Policies. So, imperialism. Actually, it's probably easier if I look here. Imperialism, martial law, puppet yields reduction now 20%. Wait, puppet yield reduction to 60% was 50. Wait, what? Yield penalties reduced to 60%. Alright, before it was 50%. Before you get half. So this is trying to make it harder for warmongers, okay? Like, it forces you to annex because it'll be more expensive. And this one, I mean, people still argue in the forums that warmonger is too easy. And the exploitation, now you get +1 science. So the argument before was that oftentimes you get more science from exploitation imperialism than what you get for rationalism. So I don't mind that change. Yeah, nerf the science a bit for imperialism. And then autocracy. Wait, no, that's not autocracy. Yeah, no, sorry. No, it says autocracy in the changelogs, but it's authority. So right now you get 25% of your tribute as culture. So if you get, if you get 100 gold, then you get 25 culture. If you only get 60 gold, you'll get 12 culture. I like that scaling because before it's nice early on, but later on it's weakened. And then during the finisher, yields from tribute policy doubled. Wait, yields from tribute. So that means you'll get 40 gold and 40 production, and then you get double amount of culture. Whoa, actually that's, it says double on finisher, but the way I read it, I guess what they mean is you get more culture, but the way I read it is that yields from tribute. Yeah, this is the tribute. The way I read it is that you also get 40 gold and 40 production when your border expands when you finish. Yeah, that's more of the wording. Fealty, defense scalar, yeah. So before you get +3 strength for each. For every city, now it's +1. With all the changes to city defense, I honestly don't know if that's warranted or not. That requires more testing. And rationalism, now you get +2 science for each rationalism policy unlocked, as opposed to +1%, which is nice. Unless the AI is running away with it, then you're going to have a really hard time catching up. But that's a whole different matter. And rights of man, rights of man +2 gold instead of +1 gold from villages. Do you really work that? I feel like normally you have specialists, so you don't even work that many. Well, I guess your secondary cities. Yeah. Statecraft, Trade Confederacy. So remember how before you get receive, no, not this. Yeah, before you get influence based on how many city-state trade routes you have. Yeah, now it's capped at 5. Before it's uncapped, which is ridiculous. You have 10 trade routes, you get +10 influence each turn. That's a lot. Okay, what's next? Ideology. Now it's autocracy. Total war, 25% easier to bully was 50%. Yeah, I guess now that you could get percentage. Yeah, I guess it's fine. And then tyranny, city-state influence changes now. 10% was... Wait, what was tyranny again? This just shows how little I go for autocracy. Decreases the influence of all other civs by 10%. Okay, before it's 25%. It raises yours by 25, lower theirs by 25. Now it's +10%, -10%. I mean, it's still pretty strong. But it's a level 3. I don't know if that nerf is worth it. Great works return back to 3 culture, 3 tourism instead of 2 culture and 2 tourism. I think. No, 2 culture and 4 tourism. Anyway, it's back to normal. Spying on cities without spies themselves is slow by 25%, which means that on a standard game you play as England, instead of 4 turns needed to steal tech, it takes you 5 turns. Not much of a change. Some of the big ones: archers, slingers, range 1. That totally destroyed the early game. I mean, the reason why they changed it is because they're like, oh, archer rushes. You've seen me done archer rushes. I'm probably one of the reasons why it's happened. But honestly, I would prefer cities have +2 ranges than archer with 1 range. But now, gee, how much production? 40. I mean, they're also cheaper now. 45, 1 range. I don't know where archer belongs, honestly. 1 range makes them not that good, especially if they only have 7 range combat strength, 6. Because warriors actually got 8 combat strength now, so yeah, warriors are better than archers. In like 1-on-1, they're better. So yeah, I don't know. I might not use archers unless I know I'm going for mathematics and I could upgrade them to composite bowman and use that. Yeah, that could kind of work. Reduce range combat strength of all non-mountain, non-siege range units except archers slightly. Reduced? I don't know what warranted all of this. Like, we were talking about archers and suddenly every unit they upgrade into eventually get nerfed slightly. It's like, what? Warrior combat strength now 8. Pathfinder combat strength now 6. I guess before it was 5. So they're a bit stronger now. Actually, 8 combat strength warrior actually makes them pretty dangerous when you think about it. Because Brute is 7 combat strength, so you actually have advantage, especially when you get like authority and you get bonuses against barbarians. Swordsman, long swordsman. So yeah, now the discrepancy. So swordsman get 17 combat strength, long swordsman get 22, and this guy gets 19. So they are stronger, making spearmen even less irrelevant. And actually, the spearmen unique units need a buff because this is going to make, like, if you don't rush me quick enough and I get swordsman, I could counter any, and I mean any, spearman replacement. I mean, spearman still stays the same. I mean, of course, I picked the Celts. So spearman is wait, they're at 12? I thought they were at 11. Yeah, bump slightly, which I mean, it's a 5 combat strength difference. So all of them get +1. I don't think it's quite enough considering that swordsman isn't that much. I don't know, I need to test it, but spearman is still not that good. I mean, spearman now no longer has anti-mounted bonus 50%. Now they get formation, which is, I mean, you don't want to leave them in open, so that is still not great. I mean, if you're forced, yeah, I guess it's okay. You're a bit better. You have a smaller bonus against mounted units. I don't know. It doesn't feel. I mean, I'll have to test it, but I feel like formation still doesn't make up for the fact that you have swordsmen that. I mean, swordsmen still have cover 1. Swordsmen are just beefier and just better at everything. I mean, spearmen. I mean, with the buff, I don't think horsemen got a buff. So, like, why would you go for a spearman if a swordsman could handle a horseman no problem? That's my question. And then, okay, yeah, spearman, pikeman starts with formation 1. Air units, when you air sweep with the unit and encounter no resistance, the unit will damage all air and anti-air units within 1 ring of the swept tile for 1/10 of its strength. And air sweep modifier also reveals these tiles. So what that means is, for example, let's say it's much later, and you know, I have an air unit here, and I air sweep where that Pathfinder is, and if I encounter no resistance, if there are air units here, and if they're anti-air, they will all take damage. I like that, because now suddenly air sweep helps you. Like, if your enemy don't have sufficient AA, you can actually damage them to the point where they can't really. I mean, it's still at an awkward spot, air units. All fighters get interception 2, 50% chance of intercepting. Alright. Yeah, I normally don't get air units anymore because I feel they're just not quite worth it. Promotions. Penalty with Barbarian promotions reduced by 10% each. I guess that includes this. No, this is still plus 25%. So now you have less of a bonus, but your warrior also hits harder, and you start with a warrior, so I guess it makes sense. Remove sortie from the dog fighting line. Nah. I mean, some of these aren't really used, and it's so late in the game that, yeah. Distributor promotions in the dogfighting line more evenly allows interceptor fighter to more easily get to. Okay, they just changed promotions, but like I said, I don't play enough air units to give good feedback. Buff air ace pilot 2 and 3 with plus 3 range, plus 1, plus 3 will be huge. Plus 1 range and plus 1 interception respectively. Alright. Some buffs, but I feel it's the limits of like the number of air units you can have that makes it really tough. Okay, now normal Parthenons also got changed, which is also why Celtic Parthenons also got looked at. So, fertility. Fertility, now it's plus 2 food and faith from shrines instead of just plus 2 food and 1 faith. And open sky. Open sky, now it's plus 1 faith to plus 1 culture. So before it's plus 1 culture per 2 worked and plus 1 faith and 3 gold. Now you get more faith from work planes. That might be what you need. I guess it's more terrain dependent, but I guess that's the whole point. Wisdom, honestly, I don't feel like I would know this. So Goddess Wisdom, plus 1 faith for every 10 signs. I didn't even notice when it was 4 signs, so I don't know why that scalar changed. But I guess people were complaining about it. Festivals. Now you get plus 1 faith in the capital to get started so that you won't fall behind. It'll be slightly easier to find. I thought it was bad, but people say it's pretty good, so I need to give it a try. Ancestor worship. Yeah, this was my suggestion. Just get plus 1 culture and 1 faith from councils. Remove the specialist. It's useless. So now it's gonna be okay. So you get 1 faith for every 3 citizens and 1 faith from councils. It's not. I mean, if you go wide, it could actually work pretty well. And Goddess of Beauty. Honestly, instead of 3 faith, you get no. Everything stays the same except for you get less great artists and great engineers, which I don't like. My argument is that what you're doing is you're getting wonders to get started, and then you get great engineers that'll give you more wonders to get more faith, and that's why it's so easy to find. I wish they could change it, but apparently I'm alone in that, so yeah. Stars and Sky. One I almost never picked. Plus 1 faith, culture, and food from tundra types with resources, not improved resources. So that should be interesting. I need to test it out, but I almost never picked it because I hate tundra starts. But maybe I should try it out. And then Earth Mother. Oh, this is a big one. So before you get plus 1 faith and plus 1 gold from mines improved. Now you get plus 1 faith and plus 1 culture. Actually, that's huge. Yeah, because that extra culture could make a huge difference, especially if you start near, like you have 3 mining luxuries nearby, and then you find iron. Yeah, that could be quite a few yields. Founder, bump city scaling cap on all beliefs except Council of Elders. So before it's max 20 cities, now it's 30 cities, but Council of Elders is stuck on 20 cities because it's and follower. So not this one. Yeah, before it's 250 followers, now it's 300. So these have received the buff, and Council of Elders got reduced because it was really strong. So before it was 40, now it's only 20. Because before it was really powerful in that it gets you quite a bit of science, and the production helps you grab one or two wonders, which is actually pretty big. That's founder, and then enhancer. Actually, follower. So inspiration got renamed as creativity. Everything stays the same there. So that's okay. So universalism. Wow. Universalism. I don't know why it's tying on my tongue. Is now called a body of peace. Remove missionary erosion at a minimum city-state influence of 30 and wait, what? Minimum influence with city-states following your religion is 30. Oh, actually that's pretty nice. Yeah, so you get golden faith for followers outside, so you want to convert lots of city-states to get golden faith, and then you also get the influence, and you get more rewards from quests. Ooh, I like that change. Iconography is still too powerful. And it's now wait. Okay, yeah, it's called symbolism. I'm like, where is it? They actually kept the strongest bonus. So it's really weird. So before you get plus 15 great person generation during golden ages, they removed that. That's not even the strongest bit. Remove one policy cost for wonders. Okay, that might actually be strong. So I like that nerf. But then they added 25% missionaries erode existing pressure from other religions when spreading religion. Which is weird because I feel even without that, it would already be like it's already really strong. Holy cities. Yeah, just the great person points per turn for all great people. But I mean, it is a nerf, so let's see how it goes. Let's try not to over nerf it. Diocese. I'm probably butchering most of these names. It gets plus 15% great person rate, so it gets that from the old iconography. It loses the 10 culture and faith in capital and holy city. Yeah, before that was where it was strong. You just get that immediate yields. Now you don't get it. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Maybe this is slightly nerfed. And prophecy, now it gets reduced policy requirements. This is just awkward. I don't know what it synergizes with. It just feels weird. And now Reformation just got name changed. So you get Jesuit becoming divine teachings, and knowledge through devotions becomes inspired works. Nothing changed about those. Text reduce late game text costs a bit. I guess to speed up the late game a bit. Forest chopping now on mining. Okay. Yes. While jungle is still on calendar. Wow, that is that is. I mean, I mean, basically, if you want to improve calendar luxuries. You need calendar regardless. One requires extra tech. Chop percentage bonus to production now on bronze. 50% at each tech. Wait, what? Plus 50% production. Okay, so you get so before, let's say you get like 50 production, right, from chopping. I don't remember the exact number. Now you get only 50% of that from mining and another 50% from bronze working. So you get these two, you get the full amount. Otherwise, you only get half of the production, which is still nice, but it does let you improve things faster. Chop will not provide production unless you have. But how do you chop? Oh wait, no, they mean remove jungle. You don't get any production without these. Ugh, that's